Chris Cuomo here. Welcome to NewsNation, where we expose the political game. Tonight, don't take the bait. Two viral videos related to two major conflicts. Both are relevant for all the wrong reasons. First, you see what the president posted depicting a future Trump Gaza?
You free, bringing the light for all to see. No more tunnels, no more fear. Trump Gaza is finally here. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new life. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza #1. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new life. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza #1.
Now, if you find the video appealing, appalling, hysterical, or horrendous, you're right. But no matter how it hits you, don't take the bait. Why? This isn't going to happen. Yes, the President of the United States thinks it's a good idea to send the most extreme kind of gentrification porn that he can out to the world. Yes, it is insensitive to the suffering and those who are and would be displaced. But it's not going to happen. We are looking for millions and billions to cut here within our own spending with DOGE, right? And you think Congress is going to appropriate the hundreds of billions or trillions it would take to make a Trump Gaza, and that the Arab neighbors would allow American control in a place surrounded by terrorists who hate us? Not happening. More importantly, it's a distraction from what is happening, which is suffering there in Gaza, where men, women, and children are not luxuriating with hummus like skinny Elon, but in the grip of Hamas. And in Israel, they're burying babies while he's playing with this and desperate for a better tomorrow. So don't take the bait. Don't let our leaders and pod people play games with a stupid video. Focus on what happens to end the war, which is now in a fragile state of ceasefire. Don't take the bait. Second, what Trump and his administration have been saying about Ukraine and Russia doesn't make much sense. It's almost as if they have the two leaders mixed up, publicly calling Zelensky a dictator, blaming Ukraine for the war, discussing all the casualties in Russia and alleged war crimes by Ukraine's army, ruling out NATO membership for Ukraine before negotiations started, and at the UN on Monday, the U.S. voting with Russia against a resolution condemning Russia's invasion of Ukraine. It feels very WTF. But the administration says this is how Trump gets Russia to the table and to make a deal. But it is so bass-ackwards that it fuels the feeling, fictive or fickle fact, that Trump has some weird affinity for this Putin guy. After all, he threatens all our friends. Right? Today, the 25% tariff on the EU, we'll talk about it tonight, but there go all my secret ingredients from Italy. Harsh on Canada, Mexico, and all those suspicions were confirmed today when the fruit of his loins, Junior, proved that the apple does not fall far from the Trump tree. Did you hear this?
I honestly can't imagine anyone in their right mind picking Ukraine as an ally when Russia is the other option. Honestly, if anything, the U.S. should have been sending weapons to Russia. I mean, just think about it. Massive nuclear power loaded with natural resources everyone needs, literally the biggest country on the planet.
Hold on. Now, I know a lot of you want me to keep playing it. What are you doing? That's just the good part. You see how crazy what he said was? Let him go full fool. We knew Russia had something on the Trumps. Who else would talk like that? You know why it fits so perfectly into this Trump loves Russia narrative? It's because it was made to be that way. That, my brothers and sisters, that is a fake video. Welcome to the world of AI, and it's just getting started. Don't bail him out. You've been red-pilled. Here we go. Who says it's fake? Don Jr. Oh, but the Trumps lie. Well, his podcast's executive producer says that didn't happen. Well, people lie for the Trumps. Okay, did you listen to the whole episode? Don Jr. never says what you just heard in that clip. Now me, full transparency, I can't listen to Don Jr. that long. But my producer, Ben, he gets paid to do that. And he verified it, and he is never wrong. Just ask him. Nevertheless, this post spread like wildfire, duping many prominent social media accounts, including a fact-checking account run by the DNC. Why? Partly because they're lazy. And there's a difference between running a podcast or a social media account and being a journalist. But mostly because too many don't want to question what they want to be true. Don't take the bait. Don't let people divide you with fakery when we need a fight over what is a fact. Like, why the president has it in for Ukraine. Why does he say that we've given Ukraine $350 billion when it's half that? And the amount was spread over 3 years. Oh, because it's so much money. Really? We spend that much and more on things that matter a lot less. Like what? The cost of the Gerald Ford class aircraft carriers, which are often deemed sitting ducks in the drone era of warfare. Did you know they went from $13 billion to $120 billion for the program due to technical issues? The F-35, that plane has gone from $200 billion to $2 trillion for one kind of fighter jet. Don't take the bait. If it were about the money, there are plenty of bigger concerns. It's about one stupid phone call with Zelensky that got Trump in trouble. That's what it's all about. Here's my proof. Look at the timeline. Look at that point in time of that phone call, okay? And compare it to the GOP posture on Ukraine. Before that call, everybody was all in. I'd been fired at the time, so I was watching it at home like the rest of you. Yellow and blue everywhere. They're like us. They're fighting against the oppressor like America did in the 1700s. That was the Republicans and Democrats. After that call, they all go bad on Ukraine. You know, they're very corrupt, as if Zelensky was part of the Russian extended oligarchy in Ukraine. No, he was elected to fight it. That's why so much of the attacks on Ukraine seem off, because they are. So don't take the bait. You don't need fake Don Jr. You don't need that. I get how tempting it is to attack Trump's vainglorious videos and his son's ridiculous rants. But don't fall for fakery. Stay focused on the facts. There's plenty to worry about. Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.